look at the women's game, right? The women's game is here, won more World Cups, more Olympics than anybody, right? But they're getting caught.
Already, I know.
Already.
How long has it been?
8 years.
8 years, and they've already got pretty much caught up to.
The under-16 US national team went 2 weeks ago. They played in England. They played Spain in the first game. They got beat by Spain 3-1 or 2-1 in the first game. In England, it was in a tournament. Then they beat England 2-1, and then they beat Denmark 7-0. Again, it's an 8-year-old sport over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I grew up, girls never played soccer. They played volleyball. They played not volleyball. They played netball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the girls play soccer. The clubs, the professional clubs, they do the same. When I was just back home a couple of weeks ago, I was watching them, went to bed, watching match of the day of a Saturday night, and people know what match of the day is. On BBC, it's all of the games that go on the weekend. It's like a replays. Straight after that, they had the match of the day women's. I watched Manchester City play Chelsea 3-3 draw. It's televised everywhere now. The country's got behind it. The federation got behind it. They put money in. I know England got beat by the US the other night 2-0. But in the younger age groups, and we've got some fantastic women. You know, look at what Carly Lloyd's done over the years. Alex Morgan and players in the women's game. But the younger kids are getting caught in the women's game.
Yeah, man, they're making more of a big deal over there. You know, they support them. As professionals, they support them. Like, think about it. If you get drafted by Sky Blue here, it's almost like a downgrade. Meaning if you play for Rutgers. Because Sky Blue, they change it now. They partner with Red Bull or whatever. But Sky Blue played at Rutgers. Yeah. So say you played at Rutgers. A lot of the Rutgers girls get drafted by Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Now you're playing for Sky Blue in front of less fans than you played for at Rutgers, using a crappy locker room that's not part of the school.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to feel like a professional footballer when that's how you're treated? You know what I mean?
The big thing is again over here you buy franchises, right? Everything's run through the professional clubs now. Every club in England that has a professional women's team now, the Premier League clubs, that's just a couple of years old. You know, there was 5,500 people I think at the Man City Chelsea game for the women's game. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Right. But that's 2 years old, the women's premiership, or 3 years old.
Yeah.
And now they've got thousands of fans going. It's live on the telly in England. You've got the professional clubs putting money behind it. Now, I don't know what they're doing over here with the selling rules. I know a few years ago that, you know, the league got the money for selling players, but in England they sell players to make money, and that's how they keep it going. I think that's part of it as well, you know. It's a business, you know. But again, like the women are getting caught. The US under-17 national team in the same tournament, they lost heavily. Heavily, the boys' side. They got beat by England heavily, they got beat by Denmark heavily, they got beat by Spain heavily.
Wow.
Like, really heavily. They got beat by Denmark like 7-1.
Jesus.
So, again, why they're putting all this structure in place, Denmark, the size of Denmark compared to the size of the US. Now, England and Spain are, you know, superpowers in soccer, right?
And I told you about the game. Like, I trained a few girls from PDA.
Yeah.
And their team, they're both 8th grade, 9th grade. This team is probably the best girls team at PDA right now. They haven't lost in like 3 years, 4 years. They played the boys teams, beat all the boys teams. They just went down to the IMG, whatever that was called.
International
Championship. They played Barcelona. They beat everyone, got to the final, played Barcelona. And I think it was like 4 minutes in, I got to show you this goal. Barca gets the ball in their own box. They must have strung 17, 18, 19 passes in a row all the way down and scored.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. Like, you got to see this goal. Like, world class, playing in, playing out. Like, playing like the defensive center mid had like 3 girls on her back, right in front of her own box. Center back still played her feet because she trusted her not to turn over, and she played it back out. It's unbelievable.
Barcelona, I went there years ago, and their curriculum is very, very, very simple. They pass, receive, move, and they do so many unopposed technical exercises as the warm-up, and then they get into small box exercises, 5 versus 2 possession exercises, and then they get into small-sided games, and they do it all the way through. And if you can't do what they do, then obviously you have to go to another club, and that's how they train the kids, and it's from 6 years old. So you've seen the plays they brought through in the years. Now they're doing exactly the same with the girls. Nothing different. So what you're talking about there is watching Xavi, Iniesta, Messi back in the youth teams back now. That's what the women are doing.
It looked exactly like that. And these girls were 10, 11, 12.
But over here, you've got the Development Academy doing one thing, then they're fighting with ECNL doing another thing, and then you've got USYSA doing another thing. Not all together, all fighting for the same players, all telling each other everything's great and it's all rosy on this garden because we do this, and it's all rosy on this garden because we do that. Where in them countries, there's one league, there's a second league, there's a third league, there's a fourth league, and whenever you're good enough, you play it. So if you're good enough to play at Barcelona's girls team, you play at Barcelona. If you're not, and then you play for Villarreal or whatever it is, or even Levante or whatever the second division, third division. So over here is, you've got the DA fighting for a portion of the girls' side, you've got the ECNL fighting for another portion, and you've got the USYSA.
Jeez.
So everyone internally is all fighting for the different
Right.
things. Like you're talking about that girls team, I think there was another girls team that hadn't been beat as well, a year older than them, and ended up playing against Paris Saint-Germain in that tournament, and Paris Saint-Germain smoked them. You're looking at countries that have only started 3 or 4 years ago with young professional girls teams,
Yeah. Just wait 10, 15, 20 years.
you know?
Right.